Is the slice ruining your golfing life? It's weak, it's way right, it's out of bounds, you can't get off the tee, you hate it. I'm going to try and fix that slice. This is the How Did I Do Golf Academy and my name is Sophie Walker. Is then your club starts swinging out and across you. So when we talk about slicing the golf ball, it's when it starts and it kind of bananas way to the right if you are a right-hander. Now the club face is open, the path is out to in, and you're hitting down on it. Those are the three things that we're going to look at to start with. So let's look at setup first. So many of you will be skying your tee shots, which means on the top of this beautiful golf club, it's 500 quid's worth, you have scratched the paintwork. So what you tend to do is go, right, well, I'm not going to tee it up like this because I'm just going to keep skying it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tee it up low. So you push that tee down to the ground so it's harder for you to sky it. Kind of what happens is you hit even more down on it. The next thing you do is you think, well, I'm fed up of losing that ball down the right, that out of bounds there. I'm going to start aiming left. So your feet go left, your shoulders. This is if you're right-handed and you're thinking, I'm going to do this. Well, what that means is then your club starts swinging out and across you and follows the line of your feet. So that creates the out to in. So your setup is creating all of the aspects of a slice. You're aiming left, you're hitting down, face then opens, it just way right. Something like this. It's kind of short, right, ugh. So let's look at setup to start with. So we're going to have a commitment to teeing it up a little bit higher. And we're also going to have some courage of trying to aim straighter, especially with those shoulders. Okay, so we're going to try and get everything a little bit more straight. The trouble is, suddenly you look up and you see the right-hand side of the golf course and you think, that's exactly where I don't want to be. Everything's been going right. But let's just start with that. Let's commit to lining up properly. The first thing we're going to try and fix then is club face. We're going to make friends with the left-hand side of the golf course. So once we start with this change of an anti-slice, if you're right-handed, left is best. So it can start left, but it needs to stay left. And that is all about the club face. Now where the club face is pointing in at impact is the critical reason of why the ball goes left-right. So we need to get this club face pointing to the left at point of impact. So the feeling is that the toe of the club is going to get to the ball before the heel. We can do this in many ways. You could do it with swing path to start with if you wanted to, but we want to get the turning and the rotating of those forehands and wrists. And when people say, at what point do I need to do this in the downswing? As early as possible, whenever you want. You're just going to try and get this feeling of the club head overtaking the hands. It's even going to feel a little bit flicky. So by the time I finish, that club face is pointing down to the ground. So we're going to try and get an extreme of left. We're going to take the right hand side of the course out of play. Might come out lower as well. So we're going to try and commit to being a little bit straighter, teeing it up a little bit higher and feeling this club turning and pointing to the left. Now for me, I'm like, oh, left, that's not great. But for you guys that have a slice, you'll be thinking, oh, I've not seen that side of the golf course before. So that's your first thing. Get that club face rotating over. Might feel like a flick to start with, but get the toe meeting the ball before the heel. So we've looked at setup, we've looked at club face. Now we're going to look at that hitting on the up. Now we're all told we've got to hit the golf ball on the up to get it to launch with a driver. Now this is a tip that will help you do that. So grab yourself a head cover and put it in front of the golf ball. And the aim is to launch it over that ball. Now suddenly when I start standing here, I start altering my body position, so maybe dropping that back shoulder back, putting my head behind the ball, so I'm suddenly feeling a little bit like I'm tilting away. And as you come through, that's your feeling as well. The idea is to get it to go over it. Now if you're slicing, the chances are your club head is going from high to low, because that's where the sky's coming from, and the ball will start low and it'll hit that head cover. So the next step is launching it over this head cover. And with that object in front of you, suddenly you have to start changing angles. So in order for it to get over that cover, I actually felt like I leant back a little bit. That's okay, that's not a bad extreme. So we're just going to try and get height and have it go over. So that's the next thing to look at. Finally, it's probably the hardest one. It's the swing path. Now you can work your way through those first 3 steps. And that's what I want you to do before you start working on swing path. Because as I mentioned, it is one of the hardest things to do. Your swing path should actually be helped by the launch feeling. It should drop slightly more on the inside. But when I'm talking about the slice swing path, it's when the club goes out in front of the body on the way down, it comes down towards the ball, and then it exits low and left. So it's what we do in tennis when you slice the ball. Now you want to be thinking, I don't want the slice in tennis, that drop shot, I want the forehand topspin. That's the way you got to think about it. Also the in swinger at football. So if I was to stand and have a free kick like David Beckham, I would come from this left-hand side of the golf ball. That's your feeling. So we've got to start looking more on the inside of the golf ball and where we need to travel from to kick it. A good way of feeling that inside path is to have the arms just fall in the downswing and just fall into that right pocket. What will happen is this right shoulder will stay behind and it'll stay lower rather than out in front and higher, and that's where that club head gets there. And that then hits the outside of the ball. So we're going to think about hitting the inside of the ball and having this right shoulder get lower, but more importantly, like somebody's just pushing it back out your way. Keep it submissive of the left, and then that'll help you come on the inside and you swing out and over that head cover. This is the hardest bit. Those first 3, they will change your game. You will start hitting less slice, less turn, maybe even slightly pulled shots, which will still go far. You will have more marks on the middle of the face rather than the sky marks. And the inside path is the next thing that happens. So that inside path is let the arms just drop without thrusting the body forward, and then having them hands drop into that right pocket and this right shoulder just dropping low and behind the ball, thinking about that in to out swinging corner at football. Pretend you're David Beckham. I bet many of you had him in the past. Why not do it now? So let's try and put those 4 steps together. We're going to tee it up higher. I'm feeling uncomfortable with this, I know. We're going to set up a little bit straighter than we dare with our shoulders and feet. The feeling in the downswing is turning that grip to point the club face left. We're going to try and launch it, that golf ball, over that head cover. Those 3 things are doable to start with. The 4th, that inside path, that'll come. And if you need to start swinging it a little bit slower to start with, to think about it, you can. So let's try and swing one at maybe 50% just to get that idea of what we want to do. And that idea of that half-pace swing really does get that feeling of the club just dropping behind you. Because what people feel is the power move is from the top, hand spin, hand spin. So if you can do it at 50%, it allows that club to drop And then you can build up to 70%, 80%, 90%, and then even 100% in order to get that ball moving from right to left if you're a right-hander. We can fix this slice. We can improve your driving off the tee. We can get you further down the fairway and enjoying your golf a lot more, and also get rid of those sky marks. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope it helps you. Remember, these tips are free, so like, comment and subscribe what you want to see from us in the next series. But for now, I've been Sophie Walker and this is the How Did I Do Golf Academy.